and gentlemen, this is Darcy Ogandaga, CEO at Trudeau Media, and today I will talk about really how to go global, because that's my topic, because that's what I do, and especially when I speak anywhere in the United States, I love to talk about this topic, because unfortunately people are so focused on what's going on in their state, in their city, and their zip code, and I understand, that's what people have been exposed to, so you cannot go above what you've been exposed. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to understand that. So today I will, give you a few details and let you know how possible it is for you to go global. And I talk about this topic with a passion because every entrepreneur that I encounter in my life who are global, who are extremely successful. When you go global, your personal brand equity, you add 20 years to your personal brand equity. Let me explain why you add 20 years. You add 20 years because people now start realizing that, wait a minute, that guy right here, I went to Europe, I heard about him. I went to the continent of Africa, I heard about him. So that, oh my God, this is major. So, usually I don't really talk about my financial, because of, I was very known before I came to the United States. I'm not going to give you a date, but my book coming out very soon. Before you come to America, think like an immigrant / entrepreneur. So I cannot move like a regular person because I've never been regular in my life. I never be a regular person. You can see sometimes, I put on social media, I wish I can be a regular guy. And, you might not understand what I'm talking about. But you have to think global. You have to think global because, number one, the internet is global. You see what happened now with Ukraine and Russia. A lot of people don't understand. I was talking to my wife last night that I remember when Ukraine was part of Russia. I learned that in school because I went to school in Europe. So I learned that exactly what's going on. So people don't understand. It's like, what's going on? Putin just tried to go back to what used to be Russia. But some people, how somebody can invade another country? No, it's a brand new country. So you have to understand history. So any business person, if you want to move globally, you have to know global history. When you go to Europe, you have to understand the history of Europe. You have to understand what's going on. Okay? If you go to Africa, you have to learn the history of Africa. It's an African continent. It's not, Africa is not a country. If you go to Asia, Asia is a continent. What's going on in Asia? What happened to China? What happened to China and Japan? All this type of element will help you be global. You cannot just be global because you travel. You have to travel and make sure that you understand the culture. So whatever you try to say will not be lost in translation. And so a lot of people sometimes, they want to do something, but you don't understand the culture. Speaking the language doesn't mean you understand the culture. You have to understand the culture. When you understand the culture, you move, and the way you're going to establish your business overseas will be so different when you understand the culture. Because you want to make sure that people don't feel insulted by what you're saying, the way you present yourself, or the way you talk about certain topic. Because in this country, you cannot say that. In this continent, you don't move like that. Money is not like this. You don't do business like that. And before, I go in details about the deal, I remember years ago, a huge company, another global company making $100 million a year. I was working on a project with a guy from, I believe it was from Chicago. And he happened to, make some business in Jamaica or, in the Bahamas, in the Bahamas. And I was telling him hey man, you're about to go do business in Cameroon. You cannot do the same business I used to do in the Bahamas. He said, man, hey, hey, young buck, listen to me, man. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a global guy. I said, no. You're not global. You went to the island. The island is just an extension of Florida. You're not global. No, I understand, man. I'm going to Cameroon, man. I'm going to make that deal. Back then, he was controlling a budget. So he went to Cameroon by himself. He came back 2 weeks later. Hey, somebody saw Darcy? Somebody saw Darcy? Somebody saw Darcy? Hey, man, I didn't know that in Cameroon we don't speak English. First strike. Number two, I was trying to buy land, but I was just want to buy land. They want me to talk to the chief of the village and stuff. I said, man, what's going on? I got the money, man. What's going on? I said, because you didn't understand the culture. When you go to Africa, to any African nation, what we call sub-Saharan Africa, where these black people live. So, everything under Algeria, Tunisia, stuff, because like the people in North Africa, Central, West, and South Africa, and East Africa, they got different culture. But there's something that we have in common. You have to talk to the chief of a village, especially when you want to make business on a rural part of Africa. Then, if you're from the United States, most of the time somebody lied to you that everybody speaks English around the world. That's a lie. So it is me, not only I speak French, but I understand the African culture because I'm originally from Gabon next door. So what happened? They couldn't make the deal. He got the money. He couldn't conclude the deal. So that's why, before I tell you, about my deal, I want you to understand that you cannot just go overseas just to go overseas because you think you know. You better ask somebody. Okay? So that, example, I got plenty of examples like that, and that's how I was able to establish myself as a global consultant and global marketing person. Not just a regular guy, or you just do regular business in the United States. Because I understand the culture, because I was blessed enough to live, not to visit, more than 10 years, in the African continent, in multiple countries. I was blessed to live in Europe and went to different countries in Europe and live a certain time in the United States. So I know exactly when something happened in Europe or in the continent of Africa, in the continent of Europe, or in North America, from Canada to Mexico. I understand how things work, so I can position myself to make the best deal. You understand that? I want to just teach a little bit about that. So what happened was, when I was doing one of my global tour in France, I met a powerful man, and business was making between 10 and 100 million euros a year. And he asked me, say, young man, so you live in the Netherlands? He said, who invite you in France? I said, no, nobody invite me. He said, what do you mean? Like, who sponsor you? Like, nobody sponsor you, nobody invite? I said, no. I said, no, my spouse and I, we have a company named 300 Media, and then we decided that it was the right time according to analytics, and that for us to have an international conference in Paris, France. He said, how did you get the venue and all that? I said, no, my team and I, we organize all that. He said, so you have enough logistics to live in Atlanta and organize an international conference in a short period of time and do all that and train people? I said, yeah. He said, okay, we're going to keep in touch. So back then, I was already expecting, to do business with him, but, he didn't know me. Some people at that level, they don't just do business because you have something, some skill set that they have. They have to trust you, and they have to check your integrity level. So every year I make sure that, whenever I go to a country, I can, talk to him even on the phone or whatever. And the opportunity came, not too long ago, where he needed, something from my company. And it ended up that, I have all the information that he needed, for his company to expand more than what he's doing. Now, we talk about somebody who got who got a huge business in more than 100 countries. I put 97, but it's really more than 100 countries. And all around the world. So when we start now talking, I've been training all my life for that type of opportunities. So when I'm talking to him now, and he asked me, now, do you know about something about in this continent? I say, yeah, I know. What about this continent? Yeah, this your company need that. What about in that continent? What about that part of Europe? Say, that part of Europe, you need to do that. That part of Africa, you need to do this. For that part of North America, you need to do that. For the island part, you need to do that. You need to. It was just like, it was just a maze. He said, man, we need to work together. I said, no problem. Okay? So because because I knew how to deal with pounds and euros and stuff, so the transaction, with the different banks, sometimes is different, but I was able to work the deal because I established relationship not only with him, but with his team. Okay? And this is why that even now, I'm not telling you the name of the company, because when you work in a certain level, discretion is key. So even if a huge company work with you, you cannot come on social media and say, hey man, you know what, man, I got this big deal with Benz. Guess what? You're not going to get a second deal with Benz. Hey man, you know what? I got this big deal with Delta Airlines. You're not getting a second deal. Because at a certain level, they didn't tell me that I cannot say it. But I know if I want to continue business with them, unless they accept to expose me, I'm not going to reveal their name. And that's why I want you to understand. You want to do global business, you cannot just come around every time. You cannot just be loud. You cannot, there's some business will never work with you because you're too loud online. You show everything you got. So if you show everything you got, big boys will never deal with you. You're going to be stuck dealing with little people. Even if you make a lot of money, you're going to make a lot of money because you make a lot of money with a lot of little people. But you're not going to, get to global leaders if you don't carry yourself a certain way. It's not happening, my friend. Nope, it's not happening. You cannot talk about certain topic publicly. You cannot have beef all the time with certain people like you're about to have an album that you're about to drop next week. You cannot do that. So I want you really to change your mindset before you learn all the techniques and the marketing skills that come into Activation Tour. No. We have Activation Tour April 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia, when I will go in details how you can really globalize your personal brand. Especially in the United States, in everywhere that you go, everywhere you go, everything is going to be based on your personal brand. When somebody met you, or you meet them in any type of meeting or something like that, as soon as they have your name, the first thing they're going to do is to Google your name. And if when they Google your name, you don't have an extension of what you are talking about in your, in your small conversation that you have with that person, they're going to think you're a fraud. Because they say like, no, it's not going to be, it's going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that Activation Tour April 2nd, Saturday, April 2nd, I will break it down. And I will be in Montreal, Canada. I believe I will speak probably in English, depending on the audience, it's bilingual. I might speak in English. So I know somebody from New York, I already know a few people from New York will travel to Canada to hear me speak in Montreal, Canada. So if more people from the United States coming to Canada, even if, they speak French, I might, just for you, if there's enough of you guys in the room, if you watch this video and you live in New York or Boston, or you live in Detroit, and you want to come to Activation Tour, Montreal, Canada, May 28th, you don't want to fly to come to Atlanta, April 2nd, I will make sure that the conference will be in English for you. Okay? So you have to understand, and you will be like, oh, wow, this is how you do it. This is how you position yourself. When you see a business like Netflix, when a movie come out on in your Netflix, according to the deals that they have behind doors, your movie will be watched by more people quicker on Netflix. Because on Netflix, if you go on Netflix, you will see like sometimes the movies in 7 or 8 different languages. It's so important to make it happen. Okay? So I was able to cut the deal with that huge company who have access to some of the information that I give them is huge. Is huge. So it means like now I can go and negotiate any contract behind closed door with a company of that size or bigger. That's how you need to think. I don't want you to think as an entrepreneur just selling your product to an individual. I want you to think globally. How you can sell your product, your services, your intellectual property to a company in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Tokyo, Japan, okay, in Australia. How you can make business in London, in Paris, France, in Nigeria, South Africa, Gabon, Cameroon, Senegal, in Mexico, in Canada, in the West Indies. You know, how you can make it happen. So you don't want to just be stuck because you're United States and you live in Atlanta or LA and you do some good business. Think global. One of the reasons somebody like Will Smith or Eddie Murphy, talk to my people, my black people, one of the reasons they're so successful, they're so, in a certain highest level, and you always think like they're still relevant today, is because like they knew for Eddie in the late 80s and Will Smith in the late 90s that you have to go global to add 20 years to your career. So you're not always hustle all the time, because like when you're here, you can now release different movies, different TV series at over time in different territories. So you don't have to hustle that much because you're making money overseas while you're sleeping, because you have selling rights of your work overseas. If you're bilingual, do stuff in both languages. Don't limit yourself in French or Spanish or English. Or, hire somebody like our company. We work with a company who do subtitle for Netflix. So you can put your stuff in 54 languages if you have the money for it. We can put your stuff in Mandarin. I have somebody who contacted me from Hong Kong 3 weeks ago because I just put my activation tour videos from in Atlanta I did in January. I put subtitles in Mandarin. Somebody from Hong Kong contacted me on Instagram, want to do business with me. So I'm just talking about something I'm living it. I'm living that life. It's not a PowerPoint presentation or something that somebody said on internet that I try to repeat here. You have to make it happen. When I finish this live in 2 minutes, I will finish this live. I'm going to do another one in French in another background. Talk about one of my, another product. So I have a new online course in French come out March 10. I have activation tour in English April 2nd. So I will make money in North America and entire French world at the same time. So my accounts will see euros, dollars at the same time. Sometimes different transactions in the same day because I position my personal brand just like that. Okay? So if you live in Atlanta, do not miss activation tour. The link is just, somewhere in the description of this video, whatever you're watching that video, from LinkedIn to YouTube to my Facebook pages, or I'm live on Twitter as we speak right now. I'm live on LinkedIn as we speak right now. So hello people from LinkedIn, hello people in YouTube and Twitter, on 2 of my Facebook pages, and of course on YouTube. If you didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, do it right now. I will be pumping a lot of content in English between now and activation tour and release my podcast. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. I want you just to change and trigger something in you to say, you know what? I can go global. You know what? I can go to another, you know what? I can go to a whole nother level. Hey, Olivia, you have to understand that. Okay? So do whatever you have to do to come to activation tour. In this activation tour in Atlanta and Montreal, I changed the game. I will do something I never done before because, I talked to so many people who say, oh my God, coach, we want to hear more from you. We travel. So for the first time ever, my session in Montreal, Canada, and Atlanta, Georgia, April 2nd, Montreal, Canada, May 28th, will be a 2-hour session. I will do a 2 hours presentation. I've never done it before. It will be a masterclass live in direct for 2 hours. So the amount of information I will share with you If you know what to do with it, you will be straight for the next 5 years. You don't even need to go to another business conference for the next 5 years. If you want to bring your personal brand global, if you want to utilize your expertise and get paid for it, I will give you enough information for the next 5 years. I'm telling you, I will make sure that before I start, you can go to the bathroom or whatever, so you're not going to miss anything. You have to be here and listen and take notes to make sure you can go to the next level. Okay? You understand that? All right. So activation tour, April 2nd, I will teach you how you can write your book and publish it and monetize it in 7 business days. Forget 30 days. In 7 business days, you can come from an idea to the conception of your book in 7 business days. Okay? So I want you to know that. It's very important. I will teach you how to create your online course and sell it. You don't sell your online course not because like nobody want to buy your online courses. You don't sell your online course because you don't know how to position yourself for people to find who you are. Okay? You know, you don't look for clients. You position yourself for clients to find you. You not hustle every day. You know, you don't hustle in your business. You position yourself to be blessed. And that's how you can be helped and go to the next level. You understand that? Somebody calling me. You see, somebody calling me from Congo, Brazzaville right now. Okay? So I have to go. I have to do another live in French to talk about that project in the next 5 minutes. God bless you. I'm just going to show you like that, back to back, the importance to be global, the importance to be a bilingual entrepreneur. And of course, you can add more languages via technology. So do not be stuck in one thing. Do whatever you have to do. Okay? So thank you so much, guys. If you speak French, come back. I will talk about my new course in French in the next few minutes. God bless you. Bye-bye.